Hello everyone, I'm DarkHour717 and today we're going to be looking at a new player guide to the bounty system. This is an updated video for patch 316 to help all the new players and citizens out there maximize their earning potential within the game. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button though. This really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and it appears that out of all our viewers, only 13% are subscribed, and really if the other 87%, if only a fraction really hits that subscribe button, it'll help us reach that goal of 5,000 subscribers in no time. And personally, I would really appreciate it. With patch 316, we have seen an increase in the number and type of bounty missions that are available out there. With the addition of Microtech and ArcCorp into the mix, the area of operations have now expanded and reached all corners of Stanton, and it's no longer limited to just the Hurston and Crusader areas. This has been a great addition to the AUEC earning potential bounties provide. Of course, the bread and butter of the bounty system will still be working your way to the higher ERT or extreme risk target bounty. I wanted to make sure I updated the guide though for all the available options, as the bounty and reputation system can be a bit daunting for a new player. So we're going to go over the important items when working bounties and important information to know, and not so much the actual act of fighting and targeting and taking out a target. First thing a new player will need is definitely an understanding of the reputation system. This has only come into play recently within the past year, and knowledge of this can really make a difference in your progression and make it much easier. The Delphi application in the mobiGlas is what you're going to use to track your reputation. You can get to this app by hitting F1 on your keyboard and selecting the last icon labeled Delphi. In the app itself, you're going to see all your mission-based reputation groups on the left side of the screen. This will include all mission-related groups and is not limited to just bounties. Here you see we have several groups I've been working with. For lawful bounties, you're going to see Blackjack Security, Bounty Hunters Guild, Crusader or Hurston Security, as well as Microtech Protection Services and the North Rock Group. These are the different groups you will earn reputation for. As you click on each level within the group, you'll see current and unobtained levels. The level itself will list what bonus or perk you receive for reaching it. In the case of the Bounty Hunters Guild, as you progress, you will obtain higher level of bounties, which result in higher levels of earning. As we click on the Hurston Security levels, you see some levels will have no perks, but most will include an added bonus payout. In the top right, you can see the gauge that indicates your current reputation with that group and have the ability to mark it as a favorite to move it to the top of your list. Keep in mind the reputation gauge is not an indicator of what level you have reached, and you'll need to look at the individual groups and levels to see where you stand. One important note is that if for any reason you have to perform a character reset, you will retain your reputation level, but you will need to reperform any certification bounties for that group to regain access to the highest level achieved with them. Also in the Delphi app, you'll see a contacts tab, which will be listing for individual mission givers that you have interacted with and taken missions for, as well as your reputation level with the two gauges at the top for that mission giver. As you work with more mission givers and accept and complete missions, they will automatically be placed in here. An additional note that can be useful in not slowing down your progression is to pay close attention to the group's allies and rivals under the group name when you select them. This can actually slow your reputation building by working with too many people at once, as some of them do not like seeing you working with both sides. You can use this information to ensure that you're building reputation at the fastest possible pace. One sound recommendation is to pick a group and focus on them and their allies before beginning to work with one of their rivals. The dossier tab only holds a little base information about the group and not a lot to use here that will really help you progress. As mentioned before, you will have non-bounty related groups in here. Similar to how you see Redwind Line Hall listed for me, you can track all your progression with those non-bounty group just the same way that you track it when you're doing bounties. Now that we understand how to track the progress, we can look at taking certifications and move into actual bounty hunting. You can access the contracts through the mobiGlas by opening the contract manager. This will list all available contracts for all the missions currently running, and this does update in real time. For guaranteed lawful bounties though, you will want to start in the general tab, and I always recommend first thing to do is to go to the mercenary tab and take the call to arms mission. This will pay an additional AUEC amount with each kill you get when you're running bounties. Though small, it does all add up, as when you go on bounties along with your main target, there's usually at least 1 to 3 additional secondary targets available to take down. And if you take those down along with the main target, the AUEC adds up over time. Just once you take an actual bounty, make sure you're not tracking the call to arms mission. There's no need to track it, as it stays effective as long as you hold it in your accepted mission tab. Be aware also any crash, logout, or crime stat received will automatically lose this mission, and you'll need to reclaim it once you get going again. Now onto the actual Bounty Hunter tab. For the example in this video, we will use the Bounty Hunters Guild, as this will allow us to move through the ranks to achieve the ERT level of bounties, which holds a higher payout once reached. When first starting out, you will see the certifications listed here, and these you'll actually need to pay a small amount of AUEC to get. This gets your foot in the door and starts you on the way to moving up the reputation ladder. Once the certification is accepted, make sure you track it in your mobiGlas under the Accepted tab. And then go ahead and grab a ship and head on out. One important recommendation before you leave on your first bounty is to set your medical bay on the local station to make it easier to get back into things if you do crash or are defeated. Once you're actually in your ship, open the mobiGlas, go to the star map, and you can plot a course to where the target position is. Remember, Bounty Hunter Guild missions can be anywhere in Stanton though. Other group missions will be more regulated to their area of the verse. You can quantum in all the way to about 35 kilometers from the target, and then you'll need to fly manually from there. Once you are closer to your target, the marker will move to show present location, and then let the fight begin. These can occur in atmosphere or in orbit, usually within asteroid fields, so remember to be mindful of your surroundings, especially in the asteroid fields, as there can be a lot of debris. Once completed, then you'll be able to take on the next set of bounties. The second set is going to include the Fugitive Apprehension bounties, where your target is an escaped player from Klesher, as well as Suspect Apprehension bounties, which is a player with at least a level 3 crime stat. Your NPC bounties, though, will follow a path of VLRT, which is your very low risk target, LRT, or low risk target, MRT, medium risk target, HRT, which is high risk target, VHRT, which is very high risk target, and then finally your ERT level, which is the highest paying and is an extreme risk target. Through each level, you are going to have to complete several bounties of that level before moving on to the next step. Once you have completed enough, you'll be offered the next certification to move to the next level. In times of failures, you're allotted 2 attempts before it requires you to rebuild more reputation before being offered again to move to the next level. As you move through the levels, the payouts will increase all the way to 25,000 AUEC base pay, not including any bonuses or anything outside the Bounty Hunter Guild. And that's going to be for the ERT bounty. The path used here can be applied through many of the groups in the Delphi app. Be aware though, not all bounties are ship-based, and you are going to have bounties that appear that will take you into FPS gameplay through the caves or bunkers around Stanton. Make sure you have an adequate loadout and weaponry, though if you fall short on ammo, you can always pick up guns from those you have killed to proceed. Just be mindful of the ammunition. The cave and bunkers are easy to determine, as caves at times will have an upside down question mark in the rank instead of an L, an M, an H, or an E. Also pay close attention to the description of the task you're contracting, as this will clearly inform you of what you are actually heading out on. Also along the way, you'll encounter group bounty warrants. These are bounties that have multiple targets, 3 to be exact, and will usually have 2 in one system and a third somewhere else in Stanton. These are available in the medium, high, and extreme ranking as well. These bounties do have a time limit in which you must complete them, and will progress in difficulty as you make higher ranks. Just as your solo bounties increase in risk factor, so do these. And once you reach the ERT level, you can expect that you will be facing off against several hammerheads doing the group bounties. The payouts, though, just as in a solo bounty, do climb to a high level. The time limit given to complete these are more than adequate, with plenty of time to restock, repair, and refuel if needed. In the case of all bounties, though, you don't need a large ship or even an OP ship to make your way through the ranks. Granted, once in the highest levels, a smaller ship will have a very difficult time, But for the most part, all of the levels up to HRT with some basic fighting skills can be accomplished with something as small as an Avenger Titan. Also remember that if you find that you're having difficulty, you can always share the contract with people in your party and take it down together, sharing the reputation and the payout. And working with an org or a large group can actually be beneficial in this for earning AUEC, as you'll be able to run multiple contracts faster as a team, sharing in the rewards, including if they share a contract at a level you have not yet reached. We do this often in Auec's Fang as we all attack targets throughout the verse simultaneously, completing 3 or 4 bounties all at the same time. Using these hints can be applied towards anything that you're actually trying to build reputation for. And that includes the ECN alerts, also the Crusader or Hurston security, Blackjack security, or even being able to move it into the illegal side, maximizing your reputation with Twitch, Vaughn, or Clovis Darnell. Overall, the bounty system can be a great way to make AUEC. It has great potential for high rewards, but to get there, it can take some time as you have to build that reputation up through each level. But once you actually get there, the grind is worth the effort. Best recommendation to shorten it would be to focus on the one group in the Delphi app at a time along with its allies. Then when you reach the level you want, move on to the next group of interest. Have patience though, and it will pay off. And remember, even in the case of a character reset, you're not going to have to repeat the entire process, just the individual certifications for each level. I hope this brief rundown on the bounty system has been helpful, especially for our new citizens. Please let me know what you think in the comments, or feel free to leave your best recommendations for others, as I love hearing others' tactics and experiences. Remember to get your entries in for January's giveaway, a IAE 2951 Nomad Starter Pack that includes Squadron 42, donated by Helio from Auec's Fang. Just subscribe and leave a comment on any video here on YouTube, or follow over on Twitch, and you'll get an entry for each of those. Also catch the stream every Wednesday and Sunday night on Twitch at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and our weekly podcast, State of the Verse, on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. As a side note on 2 additional things coming up, January 15th, the yearly Daymar Rally, which this is the first year Auec's Fang will have a team, and we're excited to get in that and try it out. We will be streaming it, so check that out. As well as I will be doing a 24-hour stream starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the 19th of January, where over the 24 hours, I'm going to see how much AUEC can be made, and I'll be doing several giveaways and prizes, including game gear, ships, and starter pack. So please join when you can, and you might just win something. I do want to thank all of you for all the amazing support as I work toward that 5,000 subscriber mark. And if you do want to help support the channel, subscribe and visit the Patreon or the merch store, or click that join button here on YouTube and become a member for as little as 99 cents per month. And again, thank you, and we will catch you next time.